everybody. I'm almost sad to even speak about this or present it, but news is news, and everybody has to understand what's going on with the situation I presented earlier. I don't like leaving open-ended stories, especially when it has to do with a little girl's justice being served. So from what the information you'll see in the description below, I'll leave it in the link. It's 28 minutes long. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but and watching this in full, I've been able to produce and understand conclusions to the story of Kenneka Jenkins. It seems that there were individuals that were in the room that we all couldn't see because of the reflection and things. And when you're kind of drunk, it's alleged, when you're kind of intoxicated, as the medical examiner says, you can't really defend yourself or do much. And it seems she was taken advantage of, alleging by other individuals that were hovering around her when she was in the bathroom. And that makes very good sense, being she was in an environment where you didn't had people that wasn't true friends and was worried about themselves. So it seems that I'm not going to go into the names. I will leave information for those in detail who want the full story and where they can get it. But we're just going to say that there was a friend who wasn't the girl at the party. There's a couple of names. Montifa and Winter were two names named. And this girl goes into detail about these people, basically how they were the real friends of this girl. The party, she was a stranger to, so it wasn't really somewhere she would have been anyway. And this just takes us back to something I've heard, Tommy Sotomayor say at an earlier date, where he said the parents and the mother and the responsibility of a child being home or being out, and just knowing the times when children come and go. It's just about respect. It's being respectful to your life. And if she was home, she would have been respectful to her life. It wouldn't have been focused on her. So it seems that in her intoxicated state, she had guys just taking stuff, and maybe at some point she tried to fight back, and one of them got very aggressive. And that's very sad, because a man to think that that's how he's to court a woman or to do anything intimate, it's just a sad occurrence. And there's no release of the young man. I haven't even heard anything about it, which is the craziest part, because you think that would be who people would go for first. But they did, however, yesterday arrest a friend during a suicide attempt, because it seems like this friend's guilt has overwhelmed her, which really makes me think this woman's story in the link below is very true and matches with the guilt that a friend would have with full responsibility. Just overall sensitivity is my issue with this video. There's no sensitivity. It's life. It's death. Like when someone dies, they die. They don't come back. And I just didn't like the sensitivity in this video the girl used. I just felt like she should have had more respect for the deceased, because that could be anybody. For you telling this story, they could come for you. So I don't understand why she was so laissez-faire with her approach of a girl dying, and then going to start the video saying they focusing on the wrong thing. How? A little girl lost her life. What's the bad focus about that? I really didn't get that part. Didn't make sense to me. Somebody's going to have to elaborate to me of what that actually means, because I didn't understand it. It meant nothing to me. One thing I want to hit, and I want to say while dealing with this and the understanding, is that this little girl's gone. And no matter what this girl's talking about, no matter how she's talking about it, the details are what matter. And that's what I was waiting for in the story. There's a lot of cursing around it, just a lot of buffoonery. And that's part of why we see the destruction of the black culture. It's because of the mindset like this after life's taken. Even if this isn't someone you mourn, this story shouldn't have been on live. It should have been produced as evidence to her parents, at the least, about what happened to their daughter, because they're mourning. And I don't get why people want to get social media notoriety for chastising the death of a little girl with MFs and, lots of just cursing, just craziness and a disrespect to anything legacy-wise that they could have represented. I don't understand that. It never made sense to me. That's not something that I really encourage people to do. I don't think this girl should have did that. That's not why I'm showing this video. It has the details and things surrounding the implications of what truly happened to this little girl and the details that need to come out so that there is justice for Kenneka, and everyone who's involved with the death of this little girl does pay a price, because that's what it's about. It's about the justice of this little girl that was 19 with a full life ahead of her, and they felt it at the moment right for them to hurt someone because they wouldn't give them something they wanted. So they could go to jail and play that game with men twice the size or women twice the size and see how that fares out, rather if you want to do that to an innocent, helpless girl. It just doesn't make sense. So, you know, check out in the link below. Let me know what your thoughts are. And you know how I rock. All rights reserved.